What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Looking at our Novig boost from yesterday. So free picks, the player props didn't go the best, I'll be honest with you, but the Novig boost did cash. So YouTube seems to be okay with the Novig. We blocked in our plus 403 odds parlay yesterday, which ended up cashing. So it was 25, paid out 125, which is really, really nice when you're locking in these slips live. So we're going to be doing that again. We're going to do that continuously going forward. As long as they're giving us these boosts, we're going to continue to do these live on video. So stick around for the Novig section. The Novig section will be put into the Moneyline area of the video, and then we'll lock in a couple of slips for the player props as well. So if you guys are looking forward to that, make sure you guys are dropping a like on this video. Make sure you guys are subscribed if you're not already. We will be picking a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of our VIP, which we do that in every single video. If this video gets 250 likes, I will be selecting a random comment that answers today's question in the video. So drop a comment, leave a like. You do have to be subscribed to win. I'm going to go ahead and pick our winner from yesterday, and then I'll give the question here in just a little bit. But winner of yesterday's video is going to be for Scott Truitt, who said raw is no problem. And that seems a little weird of a statement to say, but my question was, for the Novig area of the video, would you guys prefer me to go ahead and kind of have the slip pre-planned, or just kind of like look at it live? I know I ramble a lot in some of these videos when I'm locking in these slips because I don't pre-make these slips. I do it live on video, so you guys can kind of see the thought process behind things too. Figure that might help some. So Scott, I appreciate the comment, man. Send me a message on Discord. I will get you added for that free month of VIP. Looking at our bet tracker from yesterday, I've swept my money lines. Profited $520 yesterday on the money lines themselves. Up $1,961 for the month, which is, profit's profit. It's not as good as the last couple months have been, but we've been doing well on these money lines. So everything was tracked yesterday. I played Pistons and Knicks together. I put the Nuggets and the Grizzlies. These were spreads. I played the spreads on both of these. They were bought up slightly. 250 profited 195. Pistons and Knicks profited 205. Then that Novig boost from yesterday, we profited 120. So we are up $15,684 since using this bet tracker, which was created at the beginning of December. So if you guys do want to get all these plays, you want to get every single player prop, you know where to go. The WAP link's down in the description. It's only $10 a week or $25 a week for now, or per month for now. Use code NBA to get 20% off. I will have a new code for MLB as soon as the season gets ramped up, so keep an eye out for that. I'm telling you right now, guys, prices are probably going to go up slightly. If you get locked in now on the VIP, your prices will not go up. If you are not in there now and you try in the next month, it's probably going to be a little bit higher. So if you plan on joining in the next couple of weeks, I recommend joining now, and I'm not saying that just to get you to buy it. I'm saying that to actually to help some of you guys. So just throwing it out there. But Discord is free. It's down in the description. Let's go ahead and lock in some of these plays, guys. Let's talk about player props. Then we'll jump into our Moneyline section of the video. And I'm trying to close out these tabs really quick. I already done the comment picker. Let's close that out. Everything's closed out now. We should be good to go. So have some player props that I like. Obviously, I've got 4 now. 2 of these are going to be from the Miami side of things. 1 is going to be from Houston, and then I got another play from another game. So let's go and talk about these. You guys can use your best judgment, lock in all the plays if you want. If there's a play that you don't like, just don't tell it, guys. I'm not going to be perfect. We saw that yesterday. Yesterday we split both of our free slips for a parlay play. Hopefully we can have a better day today. But other than that, we've been killing these free picks. So hopefully that streak continues. But let's end the month off strong. Last day of February. And then we'll be jumping into March. But anyways, first pick of the day that we're going to lock in is going to be for our man Tyler Hero. Now, I'm looking at Tyler Hero versus the Houston Rockets. This game is in Miami, and if you look at the odds right now on this game, Miami's like plus 138. So the value right now in this game is almost 50-50. There's a lot of people that think Miami's going to win this game. The spread is very, very low. It's like a 3.5, 4.5 spread right now. We can check real quick. Yeah, 3.5 spread. So it's supposed to be very competitive. Hero played right at 32 minutes. So this is the most minutes he's got since coming back off of his injury. He's been playing good, put up 29 PRA, 25 points. I like Hero to give us 20 points tonight. So you can get his line right now at 19.5. It's going to be a regular line if you play it on a certain app. He's putting up big numbers. Right now, if you look at Miami's team right now, Jovic is out. Norman Powell is out today, and so is Rozier. So no Norman Powell obviously is going to get more usage for a man Tyler Hero. Bam has been one of those guys who has really been stepping it up lately. I'm expecting Bam to have a good game as well, which we'll talk about that in a minute. I like Bam tonight, but I do like Tyler Hero as well for 20 points. I'm expecting to give us 20 shot attempts this season so far. He's been putting up around 16.3 over his last 10 games. But last game he put up 18. He put up 10 3-point attempts. He got some free throws. Obviously, he can get those as well. Last 20 games, if you take a look at it, you can see he's averaging right at 21 points per game, catching this in 70% of games. So around 16.6, around 17 field goal attempts per game. So he's getting up a decent amount of shot volume. It's not as much as I would like. This is a tough matchup versus Houston. Houston's defense is good. They have the third-ranked points defense in the league, giving up only 109 points per game. If you go to the guard position, it's still top 10 defense in both categories. Amin Thompson, obviously, a very good defender. They put him on Hero. It's going to be a tough matchup for Hero for sure, but I feel like Hero's going to have a lot of three-point attempts. I feel like he's going to put up those threes. I feel like he can, if he has a decent game, he goes over this line. If he has a bad game, obviously he's going to go under. A great game, he's going to go way over. But head-to-head data versus the Rockets, both games are from last season. He cashed 1 of 2. He had 27 points in one game and 8 in the other. So this one's going to be kind of coin flip. The odds are minus 115 and 19.5 for a reason. But if you want to lock it in, you can. So I'm going to lock in Tyler Hero. 19.5 points. You can play this on underdog. I'm probably going to play this one on underdog just because you can lock it in with another regular line and get a 3.5x value. We'll check the play here in a minute, but it's probably going to be an underdog play on this one. We may only have one slip we lock in live in terms of player props, but I like Tyler Hero. The other play that I liked, I told you I like Bam. So I like Bam for a couple of props. I like both his points and his PRA. And if you lock in Hero points, don't play Bam points on the same slip. Remember that. So I like Bam for 15 points. I'm not going any higher than that just because I think he is due for a little bit of regression. He's destroying this line. He's cashed it 9 of his last 10. He's averaging 20 points per game. He just dropped 29 points versus Philly. If you look at the center position for Houston, they give up quite a bit of points, almost 20 points per game to the center position. With the way Bam's been playing, it's hard not to lock him in. He had 20 field goal attempts his last game, shot 8 threes. He had 8 free throws. Like head-to-head data versus Houston, he cashed his last game, went under the game before that. On the season, he has a 75% hit rate for 15 points. 15 points should be a very comfortable line for Bam. But also, like I said, I think he is due for regression, and his line is definitely elevated because he had a lot of games where he's been popping off. So I look for Tyler Hero to steal some of that tonight. I do think Bam has a good game, and you can play him at either 14.5 points or you can play him 29.5 PRA, depending on which one you want. Points line, 1.24x for him to get 14 points. Or 15 points, and then it's a 1.5x if you're playing for 29.5 PRA, which I really do like this line as well, especially if he ends up giving us close to 20 points. This line should be pretty easy for him to do. But those are the two plays that I really like from the Miami side of things, and then I do like a play from the Houston side of things as well. So for pick number 3, I do like Reed Sheppard. I think Reed Sheppard is going to have a decent game today. It's a great matchup versus Miami. Miami has one of those is one of those teams where let's pull up his points real quick. So Miami gives up 20th in the league in points per game, 117 points per game. If you go to the guard position, they're a bottom 5 defense to both point guards and shooting guards. So you got a very nice matchup here for Reed Sheppard. If you look at Houston, they're missing Steven Adams still. Jabari Smith is out. Jayshawn Tate is out, and so is Fred VanVleet. So you're looking at a little bit more usage now for Reed Sheppard, considering Jabari Smith is not going to be playing. Reed Sheppard for 14.5 points is a decent line, but I really like it at 11.5. So I really like this line at 11.5 if you want to buy it down. You can take him for 15. I think 15 could be slightly sweaty. He put up 28 and 20 points in his last 2 games. If you look at his field goal attempts the last couple of games, he had 21 versus the Kings, and he had 11 versus Orlando. So we know that Durant put up 40 points his last game versus the Magic. So that's obviously going to eat into some of the shots taken from anybody else. But minutes, 30 minutes and 32 minutes in his last 2 games. So he's getting decent minutes right now without Jabari Smith. I'm expecting another pretty good game. I'm expecting a competitive game versus Miami. So I'm looking for somebody to score, man, somebody other than KD. So obviously got Sengun, but I like Sheppard, man. I like Sheppard for his points because of how many threes he's putting up as well. He put up 16 3-pointers versus the Kings. So lots of potential here, very high ceiling. 11.5 points is a very low line. So we're going to pull him up real quick. 1.3x for this. If you play it with Bam or with Hero, you can get plenty of value. You can't play it with Bam's points, but you can play it with Bam PRA. So we're going to lock this in right here as our first slip. It's a 1.88x, and I do like this little game stack play. So let's lock it in. If you prefer to run Hero points, you can. I don't think that's going to be a bad line either. That honestly would put you at a double up. So maybe I end up running. We'll see. We'll see what we do with Hero. But that is going to be pick number 3. Like I said, if you want to take him at 15 points, you can risk it there. I don't think that's undoable. I just like 12 a lot better. So last pick on the last pick for the player props I'm going to be running is going to be for our man Saddiq Bey. So I do like Saddiq Bey a lot for the Pelicans tonight, playing versus the Jazz. When you look at this Pelicans team, Have a lot of mouths to feed. Messi is questionable. Trey Murphy is out tonight again, and so is DeJounte Murray. So with these two players out, that's going to lead to some usage for some other players. So you got Fears, you got Bay, you got Zion. Zion, obviously, he's been playing good. He chalked the last game that we played Zion. The one game I take Zion, he doesn't cash. So I'm not really a huge fan of Zion, but anyways, they are playing against the Jazz. Now this one's in Utah. If you look at their last game 2 days ago, they played against the Jazz. They ended up beating the Jazz 129 to 118. But our man Saddiq Bey had 42 points. Do put up big numbers. The Jazz have one of the worst points defenses in the league. They get up 126 points per game. If you look at it versus any position, you're going to have a green number here. So terrible defense versus every single position. At any point in this game, anybody could pop off. I'm looking at Saddiq Bey the way he had last game, though. He put up 20 field goal attempts. He put up 9 three-pointers. He had 9 free throws. I'm looking for, obviously, not a 42-point game, but I'm looking for him to have a good game, man. So I'm going to take a chance on Saddiq Bey at 18 points. This line is a line. He's cashed 7 of his last 10. He's cashed at 60% of his last 20. You look at his minutes on his last 20 games. He's averaging 32 minutes per game. He had 34 his last game. Putting up some pretty decent minutes. I think with the amount of minutes he's playing and the matchup that he has, I think Saddiq Bey for 18 points is a good line. So I'm going to be locking that in. Bey for 18 points. And then we can lock it with Tyler Hero. If you prefer to play that, we can get Hero 18 points and get a 1.9x. So I might end up running this. I might just buy Hero down and then play him for 20 points on underdog. I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's take Bey for... Can I take Bey a little bit lower to make the payout slightly less? And then, let's see. Can we get Bey for 15? It's not going to be a high enough payout. Okay, so I'll play Bey for 18 points and take Tyler Hero for 18 points as well. That's what I'm going to play. I'm going to lock this in. And those are going to be the 2 slips we locked in on parlay play. And I feel like I got through this a little bit quicker than usual. But there's not really many games either. We got a 5-game slate. It's not the greatest slate in my opinion. But I do like these picks. I do like the Miami Houston game. I do like the Pelicans Jazz game in terms of player props. I don't dislike Lakers Golden State or Raptors Wizards. But yeah. Anyways, that's what we got. Bam and Reed Shepherd, Hero and Bey. Lock them in if you like them. Fade them if you don't. Those are the player props for today. And let's go ahead and jump into some money lines. Let's talk about these games and let's lock in that Novig boost live. So, first game on today's slate we have is going to be the Trailblazers taking on the Hornets. Charlotte is minus 285, minus 7.5 on the spread, a 227.5 total on this game. Public betting right now, 62% of the money on Hornets. 51% on Portland plus 7.5, so pretty much an even spread here, or even percent of money on the spread here. Now, when you look at these two teams, Charlotte obviously been playing very good ball as of lately. Portland coming off of kind of like a little yo-yo thing. If you look at the yo-yo, look at the pattern they're on right now, they are going to be due for a loss, but they did just beat Chicago in Chicago. Now, the thing about Portland, they're definitely live dogs. They're plus 290. Obviously, Charlotte is a huge favorite tonight. Charlotte has been playing good. Like, they've blown out Indiana and Chicago. I don't think Portland's a team they're going to blow out. I'll say that. Now, Portland has a doubtful Denny Avdija, which is huge. One of their best players, their best scorer, is going to be doubtful. Donovan Clingan, in my opinion, one of their other top players, is going to be questionable. He didn't play his last game. Clingan is going to be a huge piece to this Portland team tonight if he sits, or if he plays. Shaedon Sharp's out. Dame obviously out. So right now, I'm not looking at Portland money line. Like I said, I think they're live dogs. If Clingan plays, they definitely have a chance. If Clingan sits, man, this game is just not something I'm looking at on the Portland side of things. Charlotte fully healthy. They've just been playing good. I think they're hungry right now, and I'm expecting Charlotte to get a win here. So in terms of winning this game and the Novig boost, we're probably going to go ahead and lock in Charlotte. So I have Novig pulled up right here. The way that you use the boost here, first of all, if you haven't signed up for Novig, code ACES will get you it's like a 10% deposit match. They don't do very good on the deposits, but you can get these parlays as well. So you see 25% pro basketball parlay. We're going to hit claim. We're going to hit pro basketball, and we're going to have all the NBA games right here. So we're going to lock in Charlotte money line potentially. We're going to put it up here, and we're just going to see what kind of value we can get. So that is going to be the first game. I think Charlotte wins. Next game we have is going to be the Heat versus the Rockets. Now, this game is I didn't expect Miami to be so close on odds. I didn't expect the plus 138 odds for Miami. I really didn't. It's a 3.5 point spread, a 225.5 total, decently fast-paced game. Most of the money right now on the Rockets money line, but most of the money on Miami covering a 3.5 spread. When you look at these two teams, Rockets have won 3 straight games. The Heat have lost 2 in a row. Heat are a much better team at home with a 61% win rate. The Rockets are a much worse team on the road with a 55% win rate, but they've also won 6 of their last 7 games on the road. So they've been playing really good ball. As of this team right now, Houston is missing Steven Adams. They're missing Jabari Smith, Jayshawn Tate, and Fred VanVleet. We've already talked about this. Miami missing Norman Powell, and that's pretty much it. Jovic is out, but nothing new. So I think Houston's the better team. Neither team on a back-to-back. Both of them played 2 days ago. The Rockets traveling again, so 2 road games in a row, whereas the Heat are having their first home game in 3 games. So I do think that the Heat keep this game close. I think it's competitive, but I'm really looking at the Rockets, man. I think the Rockets are the better team. I'm willing to take a chance on them at minus 135 for this boost. So if you put these two together on the boost, you have plus 114. So we're not quite where we need to be, and I don't think I'm going to use the Hornets at minus 300. I don't think that's a good play. But I do think Rockets at minus 135 is a decent line, or Miami. So depending on which way we want to run on this, we could end up taking a shot on Miami at plus 132. But Rockets at minus 135 is kind of what I'm leaning right now. We'll take a chance here in a minute. We'll lock in the slip here in a second. But I do think Miami has a chance at winning. I think they're definitely live dogs. But right now I'm leaning the Rockets. Next game on the slate we have is going to be the Raptors taking on the Wizards. Now, this game's where it gets a little bit ugly. This is the ugliest game on the slate. You got Washington playing at home. They're plus 670 underdogs and a 13.5 spread. Decently fast-paced game at 226.5. Most of the money's going to be on the Raptors for a reason. Remember, these teams that are playing for playoff potential right now are the teams you really want to look at when they're playing against weaker teams. So the Wizards are on a 3-game loss streak. The Wizards are obviously tanking. They're not going to make the playoffs. The Raptors can. They're probably going to make the playoffs. I think they do. So when you look at the Raptors with a chance to come out here and get an easier win, especially being a road game, I don't expect the Raptors to lose this one. Now, they're missing Hepburn. Colin Murray-Boyles is doubtful. But other than that, they're fully healthy. Washington missing all kinds of players, man. So I can see this game getting slightly ugly. I do think Washington's one of those teams who can play with some other some opponents like the Raptors. The Raptors are a good team, but they're not a team that typically goes and just blows out a bunch of teams. You can look at most of their games. Most of their games are within 10 to 15 points, even if they're winning or losing. So they keep it close usually, but they don't blow out a lot. When you look at a 13.5 point spread, I wouldn't be surprised if Washington covers that, but it also depends on some of the injury news as well. So I'd wait for that. I'm probably not going to lock in anything here myself. I was looking at Brandon Ingram. He is boosted on parlay play for 19.5 points, but they're fully healthy, and if this game gets out of hand, then Ingram probably does not go over that. But it may be something I end up playing. We'll see, because the Wizards' defense, definitely lackluster. Definitely not a team that I'm expecting to just shut out somebody. Somebody on Toronto is going to have a pop-off game. But that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the next game on the slate. Lakers versus Warriors. This one's going to be in Golden State. Golden State plus 163. 4.5 point spread, 228.5 total. Most of the money on the Lakers. Now, I hate seeing this because I think the Lakers win, and when I see all this money on them, it just worries me. But obviously, some sharp money is on the Lakers as well. Lakers have lost 3 straight games. Now, let's talk about this Lakers team. I have played, and I have bet on the Lakers. All 3 of these losses. I bet on them to beat Boston because they were at home. I bet on them to no, wait, Orlando I didn't. I lied. I did not take them to beat Orlando. But I did take them to beat Phoenix. And Phoenix ended up beating them in a game-winning 3, buzzer beater that took it from what would have been overtime, and they lost. And you got to understand, Phoenix was missing majority of their starting 5. Lakers, doubtful Rui Hachimura. Golden State, missing Butler, missing Curry 2, missing Cryer, missing potentially Porzingis. He's questionable. Then you got a probable Draymond Green. Now, I don't think that this Warriors team is better. They're playing at home. Both teams, a couple days rest. It's not like it's a long travel or anything. You look at Memphis. Memphis just beat the Warriors. I just don't think that the Warriors beat the Lakers. But I did not think that about some of these other teams either. So I'm going to take a chance here with the Lakers. So the Houston and the Lakers right now will put you at plus 145. So we really just need one even odds play. For example, if we lock in like an over here, that's going to put us over 300. So we just need one more pick if we run these two. What happens if we take this? Plus 226. So if we took Miami and then like the Pelicans, would that put us over? It does put us over. This game we might have to play around with, but I'm going to leave it Houston for right now for what we're locking in on our money lines. But we'll see. Last game on the slate we have is Pelicans versus the Jazz. This one's in Utah. Jazz are plus 233 underdogs at home. 6.5 spread. Highest pace total on the game, or on the slate, 245.5 total, which is really why I like the props on this game. Most of the money going to be on the Pelicans. Pelicans have been playing good, man. They've won 3 straight. They beat Philly, they beat Golden State, and these were on the road. And they just beat the Jazz, or these were at home, but they beat the Jazz on the road. So they just played the Jazz, like I said 2 days ago. I'm playing again. They beat them by 11 points the last game. Now the Jazz are a team that can beat the Pelicans. They really are. Both teams are not very good. I do think the Pelicans have more talent right now playing. Pelicans are missing Trey Murphy and DeJounte Murray. That's tough. I don't like seeing that. I'm pretty sure DeJounte Murray played the last game. We can do this. We can check. Let's see. Games without DeJounte Murray. So, yeah, he did play the last game. So, this isn't the same Pelicans team that we had. Did Trey Murphy play the last game? Hold up. Yeah, so Trey Murphy was out the last game too. So, anyways, DeJounte Murray did play the last game. They're missing him. It ain't like he played massive minutes or anything. This team's still the better team in my opinion. Keyshawn George is questionable. They're missing Lauri Markkanen. I'd keep an eye out on injury news here. If anybody else plays, then like for example, if Markkanen gets ruled in, then potentially Jazz are decent to get a win here, really, at plus 233. I think they're live dogs anyway. I don't really trust the Pelicans here. I think the Pelicans win. I do, but I'm not super confident in that. And I'd say like I have like in my head it's like 54% chance of winning, which for the odds is really bad. So. And that was just a random number, by the way. I don't actually think it's a 54% chance of winning. I was just throwing something out there for fun. But I do think that the Jazz are live dogs here. If you think the Jazz win, it's not a bad play. I'm going to be waiting for some injury news here and just make sure that Lauri is sitting out. And then after that, I may make a judgment on that. But anyways, let's talk about this Novig slip of the day, and let's lock it in. So first of all, the question of the day, the question is going to be a no question. So all I want you guys to do is just drop a comment. If you leave a comment, no matter what the comment is on this one, I'll pick a winner. These questions are getting kind of old already. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I'll be randomly through the video trying to think of what I'm gonna ask, and it's always just like, what's your favorite prop? What's this? They get very redundant. So today I'm not gonna have an actual question. It's just drop a comment. So if you made it this far and you watched it because you want to know what the question is, I got you. You watched longer because of that, and that was the whole purpose of that. But anyways, yeah, that's what I got. No question. Just drop a comment and you have a chance at free VIP as long as we get 250 likes. Obviously, you got to be a subscriber. So if you're not subbed, hit the sub button. But let's figure out this Novig boost. And hopefully we can cash again, man. I've cashed 3 of the last 4, I think. So I've been really killing these Novig boosts. I don't keep a huge bankroll on Novig because I don't bet on it a lot. A lot of the times I'm like, I can't get the capital out. Like the other day, I was limited to $150 on a bet that I could put like $500 on anywhere else. So it just kind of hurts you because it is player versus player for the most part. It's whatever, you know what I'm talking about, peer-to-peer. Anyways, we got plus 145 here. We need to find another play. So one game I was looking at the under on a total for a game, because totals yesterday was very, very easy. And you got 245 total right here for the Pelicans versus the Jazz. So I was looking at that and trying to decide, like, what do we do about the total here? So you look at these teams and how they played. The Pelicans have been under this in 70% of the last games. 247 at 220, 230 something, 230 something, 214, 230 something. They did have some really fast-paced game versus Milwaukee. So they got some outliers in there, but some of these under 200. So some of these games very slow-paced. You look at the Jazz. Most of the Jazz are going over. They put up some pretty big points. The head-to-head versus these two teams has been over 75% of the time. So it kind of worries me there with taking the under or anything on this one. Now, we could potentially buy this total down or up. So we can click this, and we can kind of, I wish this stupid verifying location thing would come off. But anyways, we can scroll down here to the totals, and you can buy it down if you wanted to. So 230.5 puts us at plus 192, which ain't even close. 236.5 puts us at plus 234, still not close. So we really just got to get this to like around minus 180 is probably going to be like the best we can get. And I feel like there's some value changed here because earlier I had under 247 and it worked. But that's minus 126. Okay. So yeah, we need like an even odds play here to make this Novig boost work, because remember, it's got to be over plus 300 before you can even activate the boost. We got Charlotte versus Portland, the spread here. Now, Portland plus 9.5 or plus 10.5 might work. We could just run Miami too. Miami money line doesn't seem bad, man. The something about the Rockets just worries me. Something about the Rockets tonight worries me. I do think they're the better team though, so I'm willing to take the Rockets here. I think I'm gonna go with the Rockets, but it would not surprise me if Miami at home beats them. Miami's a tough team. They're a tough team to beat at home. But the total for the Wizards and the Raptors, that could be something that we could look at here. And remember, we're doing this live. You told me you like the Ramblers. 46% of the Raptors have been over. 67% of the Wizards have been over. Head-to-head data, 50% over, 50% under. This season, they've played twice. Both games went over 250, 255. So both games this season, they've had some very fast-paced games versus the Wizards, with Toronto putting up 140 points and the Wizards putting up 140 points in the other. So kind of like that line. Kind of like the over on this one at minus 109. It puts us there. We can actually buy this down and still get the plus 300, which is definitely going to be what we're going to do. So we can get this at plus 224.5. Still goes over. 223.5 is 315. 221.5 is 280. Right here, over 222.5. We're going to lock that in while we can. $25 boost. Puts us at plus 400. This will be 25 to win 125. We got Lakers money line, Houston money line, and the over 222.5. So I like that actually. Like that a lot. We're getting some decent value. Geolocation expired. There we go. So you guys can see. Show picks. We got here Houston minus 154. Ends up buying it down. So when you lock these in, obviously the odds are going to look worse. Takes the Lakers to minus 200. Then you got minus 160 on this where you can straight bet it. I wish I would have straight betted the Nets versus Bucks total yesterday that we locked in. That was like 260 total, and the line was 207, so it was very low. I'm going to start doing some more of these totals and start playing around with them, but I do think 222.5 for the Raptors Wizards is a pretty good game, so, or a pretty good number. So like these a lot. Like to slip quite a bit, to be honest with you. Houston's my least favorite of the three, just because I think Miami are live dogs. But Houston playing for the playoffs too, man. They're a good team, and they should be able to get a win here tonight. So I'm gonna lock this in. If you want to fade it, fade it. If you want to swap any play on here with something else, go for it. But I hope you guys have an awesome day. Hope you guys cash out. Make sure you guys leave a comment for a chance of free VIP. Join the Discord if you haven't already, and I'll see y'all in the next video.